on Facebook, and he said this about a waiter who was gay. For one thing, I don't know how they knew he was gay, but this Christian couple, they basically said they didn't tip him because we're not going to promote your lifestyle, but you did excellent service, you're a wonderful waiter, and all this, but we're not going to. And then they started with the FAG word, and then they did the other things, and you're not going to be in heaven, and we're not going to support anyone who's going to be in hell. It was just disgusting, and oh my God, the backlash that as a result of that, this couple for once is barred from coming back into the restaurant. It was Carrabba's or something like that, and because people say I want to sit at that waiter section. And people want to pay him and make up, and it's just wonderful, the reaction. But to say those words,
horrible.
It's why you're under the guise of God.
My thoughts about it are, I'm shocked that still happens.
Yeah.
But we cannot forget that it's still happening, and we can't be in denial about that.
Right.
And we have to do what we can about it.
And I think it's that poop, I want to say, that people live on fear of. You know, to be told that you're less than, that you're wrong, that you're going to go to hell, that all these things that keeps your Catholic boyfriends, in the closet, and keeps all these people from acknowledging who they are. And unfortunately, which I keep emphasizing in here, and this is where Dr. Vince gets a little bit emotional, is that killing themselves, ending their lives because of who they are, and cannot come to terms with it, and they feel that they're all alone and have no support system. And as I said at this bullying conference that was here yesterday, Hofstra University is a safe place. There are many, many safe places. Gay men and women are not alone, and and there are also those poor people that are dealing with issues of being transgender, the accent came out, and dealing with that, and who still feel shame about that, and have a hard time embracing that. I don't do that as much because I'm not as schooled in that field, but I do, especially at the bar in Connecticut at Triangles. They have a transgender night the third Saturday, and everybody dresses up.
Cute.
And some of them look very convincing.
I'm sure.
Some of them don't. A lot of them don't. But again, it's something to see, the multifaceted aspect of our community, and it's so much that's here, and that people have struggled. Some people, not everybody, has struggled to come to this place where they love and accept themselves.
Yes.
And if you can,
I love that some of the work it seems you're doing is trying to help the younger people who need that sort of support and guidance. I am completely with you on that. I don't even mean this as a promo for my show, but that's in my show, and you will see that when you see it.
Looking forward to it.
And I am more than happy to use that as my mouthpiece for some of the things you're saying. But I want to go further, because that's a great way to get this fixed.
What do you want to fix, Joe?
I want to fix what you just said. I don't want there to be young people that are living in shame. I don't want there to be people that won't come out of the closet.
You don't want another Joe who kills himself.
That's exactly it.
Right.
Dr. Vince.
Right. Well, that's it. Those people do not die in vain, because if they impacted your life and have changed you, then their life lives on.
Exactly.
Those are like all the men that I rattled off. And God, I got to say this. This is where the emotion comes. I was talking about the high school. I went through Live Out Loud, a wonderful organization that affirms gay youth. They had this thing called Going Back to School, Reminiscence, going back to your high school and speaking to the Gay Straight Alliance. And I did that. I had the Comac High School North, and it was I think it was the English teacher, but his room was beautifully done. It was very tasteful. A little sitting area. And my mother came, my 90-year-old mother. She's now 92. And I got up in front talking about my life, blah, 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 and all this wonderful experiences like I'm doing in here with you. And then I started talking about the men that I lost, the friends. And I just started bawling.
Good.
I was so embarrassed.
Well,
my mother goes, "That's okay, son. That's all right." But I had the young people crying. I mean, all of them were affected by I just broke down.
It creeps up on you.
Creeps up on you.
I see that with you.
It does.
It's real.
Yeah, it was very real.
And there weren't a lot of people, from what I understand, that because of the hatred back then more, they didn't accept it as a loss almost. It was almost okay. God, yeah. And that's just terrible.
It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
I agree.
Those poor, I remember my ex kissing me at the end, and on his hospital bed, and his parents were right there. And, and it just, I'll never forget that image ever. Until my dying day.
I don't want us to go into this really dark hole, but I volunteered for AIDS.
I'm glad we went. We had a special moment. He hugged me. I'll never forget that. I mean, it was beautiful, to be honest with you.
God bless you.
Yeah, and I did a memorial when he passed.
Oh, no doubt. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and the quilt, I added to the quilt and all that. So it's just, they live on.
Absolutely.
In our minds.
Absolutely.
So on a positive note, what are some fun things you have going on coming up?
Well, right now I'm completely busy because both shows are in action. I'm preparing for my next round of the Bronx Queen, which is this November.
Right.
And then I'm preparing because there's a dance number in my big gay Italian wedding, which I have to brush up on. Because keep in mind I'm a replacement, so I didn't have all these months of rehearsal, so I'm learning it fast. And I'm writing my next stuff, because once you have your stuff getting some buzz, I want there to be stuff right behind it. And you'll also be proud of that. Because these monologues I'm doing, the first one being The Bronx Queen, it's going to be a trilogy. So you'll look forward to more of those in the coming year.
Now, are these plays that you have written,
yes,
are they going to be sold? Are you going to maybe try to get them in the bookshelves?
You're saying that. I was approached by a publisher.
Okay.
And I am so proud of my work that I'm not going to go with just the first person that approached me, which is something I learned from another experience I had. So right now, I do have a publisher interested in my story, the Bronx Queen story. But I'm going to wait because I want to see if there's someone else that's interested that might want to. Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to talk about this publisher for my book.
Oh, we can. We absolutely can.
Well, we go.
Yes.
It's just as I said. It's 300 pages of 20 guys.
You know what it is? It's alone in your room writing the freaking thing, right? I mean, and nobody would understand how difficult that is.
Well, it's again, I'm interviewing a lot of people, like I'm doing right now, and telling me about their lives, and basically what we keep focusing on is no more gay shame. Get rid of gay shame. It is the killer. It causes men to attack other men because they can't deal with. I mean, I was attacked a couple times, and for being gay, bottles thrown at me.
What can that do to someone's mind? It's terrible.
Yeah, and those guys who attacked me were definitely gay.
Yeah, that happens.
But not out in any way.
That's very popular, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
But I keep saying, I love that you're putting words to it. And I think it's a noble cause, and you seem like a perfect person to be leading that.
Well, I'm trying.
I'm right behind you. I'm waving that flag.
And we're holding hands.
Yep, we are.
Marching through.
I would like to say, since we still have more time, it has been a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I'm totally enjoying this conversation. It's going so easy. So we're going to bring this show to a close.
Nice.
And I'd like you to end with what I end with all my shows.
Okay.
Last words, things that you would like to leave the audience with. I teach public speaking, and I always tell my students the clincher statement. You don't have to make, what would you like for the community? Something that you feel, and you definitely been helping the community. What do you want, what do you want to do, and what do you want other people to do in order to make us a stronger, more connected community?
Okay. Well, I'm going to quote myself again and say, first, wake up. Get to know who you are.
Quoting that Bronx girl.
That girl in the Bronx.
Wake up.
Wake up alive.
Yeah.
But when you do that and you know who you are, if for some reason you're having problems with that, or you're nervous about it, or you're concerned, reach out to people who you trust, who may be in the same situation. They will be there to help you. And I think if everybody does that, that would be a lovely way that problems can get solved. They could be brought to the surface, and we can all learn from it and move forward.
Well, for instance, for ladies and gentlemen who are listening and are struggling with coming out, there is the New York City Gay Center, the Community Center. It's on 13th Street between